Hello friends, this is Raj Sastri from Raj Option Trading. Today is December 26, 2022. Hope you're all doing well. In today's segment, we'll take a look at my favorite technical indicators. Look, technical indicators have got a place in investing and trading. For example, you found a great stock, good from a fundamental perspective, and you want to find out is it a good time to buy the stock. Or you're an options trader, you found a great stock, you found it's a good time to buy option or sell option, but before pulling the trigger, you want to find out by looking at the technical analysis. So with that, let's jump in and look at my favorite technical analysis indicators and go from there. So number one is Bollinger Band. It's one of my favorite technical indicator. Look, it's plotted right here on the chart. You got an upper band, you got a lower band, and then you got a middle band. So the way to read this chart is really, this is basically plotted based on the standard deviation. For example, in Thinkorswim platform, you could click on this torch button here, and you could go into the indicator itself. Look, I've added the indicator right here. To add it, it's very simple. You can just say Bollinger. Over here, look, we got Bollinger Bands here. If you want to find out what is Bollinger Band, which I highly recommend you do, because it will give you some fundamentals of Bollinger Band. You can click on it. It will give you nice details about this. Basically, it tells you there's an upper band, there's a lower band. It's basically based on the standard deviation. And we can close this here. You can read this in your free time. So look, as you look through here, we already added Bollinger Band. And let's go here. We got Bollinger Band right here. Look, we can open this up here. As you open this up here, look, it's basically in this scenario, we got a 20 period simple moving average. It's based on the 20 period moving average. And around it, that's the middle line that you see, which is right here, the middle line here. That's the 20 period moving average, which is simple moving average. And then we got a two standard deviation, one at the bottom -2, one at the top, that's +2. It's very simple. It tells you, where the price is compared to these two standard deviation levels, and the middle bar, which is the 20-day simple moving average. So to use it, it's very simple here. You got to make sure when the stock is hitting the top bar here, for example, if it's hitting the top bar, that tells you, it's bumping against the resistance. You got to be careful. But if it's hitting the lower bar here, that tells you, hey, it's found a support, so you could buy and go long. But if it's trying to pierce through the middle bar here, that tells you, it has a strong momentum. It can go further. The moment it hits the top bar, it might bump into some road here. That's when you look at other signals, other indicators to really find out it's a good time. For example, let's take this example here. Look, we got here, right here, we got Bollinger Band, a lower band. It's trying to hit the lower band. As it is doing that right now, as we scan through here, look what's going on here. Stock has been falling down here. As the stock is falling down and hitting the lower band, look what's going on to the volume. Volume is also falling down here. As the stock is coming down from top to bottom, volume is also drying down. And then you can look at my other favorite indicator. This is basically on the balance volume. You could look at check-in money flow. It tells you accumulation distribution. As the stock is coming down, you can clearly see the accumulation distribution line is also coming down. That tells you more distribution is going on. Typically, as the stock is falling down, distribution happens because people want to get out of the stock. And if you're an options trader, pay attention to the implied volatility, which is the green line here, and the historic volatility, which is the orange line here. If you're an options trader or an options premium seller especially, you want to sell options, for example, vertical spread, or even a put option as an example, or even a call spread or a call option at the top when the implied volatility is high. Look, as you see here, the implied volatility volatility is going higher, that tells you at this time you can basically sell your put option or put spread or a call spread above the current stock price. Typically, I love to sell put spread much below the current stock price, maybe around delta 15 or delta 30, depending on the stock. And one more thing to follow here is really, as you see here, whenever a Bollinger Band expands big time, look here, the distance between the upper bar and the lower bar is pretty big here. As the distance between the upper bar and lower bar is pretty big, the volatility goes higher. Look here, we got the blue line here going higher. So whenever the Bollinger Band expands, that tells you volatility also expands. So if you're a premium seller, you got to sell premium, for example, selling put option, selling put spread, or selling the call option at the top. You got to be selling it when the Bollinger Band expands like this, and volatility, the implied volatility goes above the historic volatility. On the contrary, when the Bollinger Band contracts, look, we got Bollinger Band contracting right here. If you're an options trader, you got to be thinking about strategies where you can buy either a call option or put option depending on where the stock is. For example, here, as you can see here, he's trying to go from a lower Bollinger Band. So you know there's a good support level here. In these scenarios, you could really sell put option much below here and make some money. Or because volatility is contracting here, that's not a good idea. You would rather buy a call option here because volatility is low here. You'd buy a call option and make money as the stock goes higher. So as you scan through here, one of my favorite indicator is right here, MACD. MACD is a powerful indicator. Typically, as you look through these indicators, we got few indicators which are momentum indicators. Look, we got both indicators here, which is look, we got MACD here. MACD is a momentum indicator, like many of you know, and we also have a RSI or relative strength index, which is also a momentum indicator. The reason I have two indicators is to really make sure one indicator does not fake out on you. That's why you want to get some confirmation by looking at one more indicator. So as you scan through here, as a Bollinger Band Bollinger Band is contracting here, as you see here, and as you scan through all the way down here, we got right here, keep watching all the way down here. Look here, the MACD is telling you the blue line is crossing over the yellow line. That tells you, hey, you know what, you can buy here. Signal is clear because the blue line is crossing over the yellow line here. That tells you it's good time to buy. At the same time, get the confirmation here from the RSI here. RSI is also telling you, you know what, we are also going higher. It's a confirmation from you, telling you, hey, you know what, you can go on the long side of the house. One thing I always always follow is, always look at where the stock is. If it is going after, if it is touching a support level like it's right now, typically it's a good idea by looking at these indicators to go long. On the other hand, if it's bumping against the resistance level here, look, it's bumping against the resistance level right here. At these times here, you can look at the lines here, keep watching down here. It's bumping against the resistance, which is top Bollinger Band. At the same time, volume on the balance volume is telling you part is over, it's coming down here. And look, check-in money flow is also coming down. That tells you there's a distribution going on, there is no longer accumulation. And at the same time, if you look at the MACD here, the blue line is going below yellow line here. That tells you, you know what, at this time, go exit. You could, if you have stock, you can exit, or if you can buy some put options or put options at these levels here, or you can short if you're, if you are into shorting the stock, you could short at these levels here. And you can also get a confirmation by looking at one more momentum indicator, which is RSI. The moment RSI goes higher, look, it's trying to hit the ceiling here, and it's trying to come down here. That tells you momentum is waning off, momentum is coming down, that's when you can try to look at strategies like shorting or selling put options at the top and make some money that way. And look, as you look through here, stock came down as we expected here. It came down, hit the lower band of the Bollinger here. As it hit the lower Bollinger band, keep watching here. What is volume on the balance volume telling you? Hey, you know what? Not quite. Wait some more time, because on the balance volume is still coming down, as you can see here. But look at this point here on the balance volume is telling you, you know what, coast is clear right now. You can start going and you can start going, go and buy some stock, or you could even buy some call option at these levels here. At the same time, if you look at the check-in money flow, it's also telling you, hey, you know what, coast is clear, go buy stock or even call option if you want to. But by looking at the implied volatility here, wise the wise traders know, you know what, it's not great time to buy call option, because look, the blue line here, which is the implied volatility, is above historic volatility, which is the pink line here. So I would not be buying call option right here. I would probably buy a little bit earlier when the volatility is a little bit lower, because still at the time also look, stock is coming down, it's trying to stretch the support line. I would be buying a call option a little bit lower here. I would not be buying when the implied volatility crosses historic volatility. I would not be buying call option at the time. And as you scan through here, look, so we can buy the stock here and look what's going on here. Normally, many folks will wait for the blue line to cross over the yellow line, but normally by looking at the shape of the histogram here, you should many prudent investors, smart investors will look at the shape of the histogram. As you look at the shape of the histogram here, it's really wrapping up here. That tells you, you know what, at this time you can slowly take some position and go long, because it's a wrapping. The red bar is becoming shorter. You kind of know what will happen next. That's when smart investors will not wait for the crossover, because these are lagging indicators. Instead, they would watch the histogram. As the histogram bars gets lower and shorter, you could slowly start getting longer, especially when the stock is hitting the lower bar here. That tells you there's a good support level here. And look again what happened here. It kind of started touching the upper bar here, and at these levels here, look, the distance between this upper band and lower band is low. We call it volatility compression here. So basically volatility is really compressed here. That's like a spring which is going to uncoil anytime here. This is where you got wall compression. As the wall compression happening here, keep watching what's going on here. The implied volatility is going over the historic volatility. That tells you volatility is increasing. And as you scan through here, as the Bollinger Band is, as the stock is going over the middle Bollinger Band here, we got the nice confirmation from the RS MACD here, telling you, you know what, now it's good to go long here. Look, these red bars are getting shorter. You got to be watching the shape of the MACD here as it is curving up here. That tells you can start going long here, and you could also get some confirmation. Look what's going on here as the MACD bars are getting bigger. Look, it's a big red bar here. At the same time, look, RSI is telling you, you know what, I'm hitting the low here, I want to go higher. That tells you at this time the Bollinger, the MACD bars will get shorter. So typically, smart investors don't wait all the way till the blue line crosses over. They would buy a little bit earlier by looking at the RSI as well as MACD indicator, and they would also look at the check-in money flow to see, okay, what, money is flowing into the stock, there is more accumulation going on here. And they would also look at the volume on the balance volume. It's also trending higher. The confluence of indicators will tell you that you could buy at this time here. At the same time, keep watching here. We are hit the ceiling here, as you can see here. As we hit the ceiling on the top here, look what's going on the balance volume is dropping off here, and check-in money flow is also dropping off after hitting all-time high. You got confluence of indicator. You got to be taking a cue here, and look what's going on here. RSI is also dropping. The blue line is dropping below the yellow line here. At the same time, RSI, even told you a little before, RSI is hitting the ceiling right here. Look, it's got a red bar here, or a red curve here, that tells you RSI is hitting the top. It's even telling a little bit before the MACD histogram here. You know what, part is over. Start looking at short positions here. This is how I would use it. And typically always pay attention to the breakout points here. Normally whenever these bars get shorter, look, we got bars getting shorter, or a Bollinger Band distance is getting smaller. We call it compression of Bollinger Bands. The moment you see Bollinger Band compression, pay very close attention. So when the Bollinger Band compresses like this, if the stock is already at the top and hitting the ceiling here from an RSI perspective, then you could really don't go long here. But at this time, as you scan through here, RSI is, as you can see here, it's still trying to go higher. So this is a good time to go long. But if the stock is already up somewhere, say if it's touching the upper band on the top here, distance is higher, then I would not be going long here. In this scenario, stock is coming down, Bollinger Band is getting squeezed here. This also, TTM squeeze is also based on the same methodology here. When the stock is low, you see a squeeze here, and you will see some indications from RSI telling you stock is trending up, Bollinger Band is telling you it's trending up, and check-in money flow is also telling you it's trending up. At the time, you can look at the confluence of these indicators and go long here. That's when you kind of look at the chart and look at multiple indicators that clearly tells you what to do. And look, we got AMD right here, and look what's going on here. AMD is one of my favorite stock here. Look, AMD right now, it's at $64, as you can see here. It's touching the lower Bollinger Band, as you can see here, and now volatility is trying to increase, because the distance between these two bars are increasing. And what's going on here, as you look through here, the volume is picking up. Look, on the balance, volume is trying to go higher slowly. And as you scan through here, check-in money flow is also trying to go higher slowly. And look, the MACD, the line itself, the histogram itself is trying to curve up, as you can see here. And look, we got RSI here. RSI is also trying to go up slowly. At this time, we can't predict the future with the accuracy, but prediction perspective, basically we can make some reasonable prediction here, saying, hey, you know what, AMD can go higher from this point onwards. Always pay attention to not just the absolute value. Look at the shape and the curvature. For example, as you see here, from a on the balance volume perspective, see how is the trend going here. Look, we got stock hitting the bottom here, but from a trend perspective, on the balance volume is going higher. Look at the trend, not the absolute value. Check-in money is going higher, coast is clear. And look at the actual histogram here is trying to go higher. The green bars are getting longer. That kind of tells you, there is some more momentum left in the stock. You could go long. At the same time, if you see it's basically trying to go lower, and look, it's hitting the top here, trying to go lower. That's when you would exit out of your long position, instead go short. And as usual, many smart investors will always pay attention to these squeeze points or a compression in Bollinger Band. These are the times when if the stock is already at the top, hitting the top bar here, that tells you stock can come down. But if the stock is at the lower band here and you see a squeeze, something like this, and stock is hitting the lower band, you see a squeeze, that tells you stock can go higher. So you got one more squeeze here. Stock is really hitting the middle bar here. Then you can look at the other indicators like on the balance volume and check in money flow and make a decision on whether it will go higher or lower. So I hope this helps. I wanted to make a quick video so that way, as you look through a stock, whether you are a day trader, swing trader, or a long-term trader, or even an options trader, always pay attention to these things, especially options trader. Always pay attention to these implied volatility, both the blue line here as well as the pink line here. As the blue line goes over the pink line, that tells you that that's the good time to sell some premium. And always look for the expanded Bollinger Band. The moment you see expanded Bollinger Band, that's when you kind of see the implied volatility is above historic volatility. That's the good time to sell some options here and make some money, whether it's a call option at the bottom below the current stock price, put option below the current stock price, or call option at the top. You could sell those and make some money. Take advantage of expanded Bollinger Band and expanded volatility and go from there. And stock traders, as usual, pay attention to not just one or two indicators. Always have some volume-based indicators, accumulation, distribution indicators like check-in money flow, and then look at least two indicators. One is MACD, which is simple histogram, very simple, and RSI, both are momentum indicators. So hope this helps. Thank you very much. And one more quick thing I would say is really when you want to see multiple indicators, it's always good to look at your broker's platform. In this case, TD Ameritrade is a great platform. You could also look at Charles Schwab and Fidelity. But if you use a platform like TradingView, typically if you want to add say 3 or 4 or 5 indicators, normally you will end up paying the money to the platform like TradingView to have multiple indicators on the same chart. So that's why the brokers platform like Thinkorswim are a great way to add more indicators. You could put on a big screen and have some fun and basically trade the stock in the right way. So with that, hope this helps. Thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.